Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Sunday. It is the 22nd day of May, 2022. I hope you're all enjoying your weekend and that you're healthy and safe today or over the course of this weekend, and that your family is also safe and enjoying the weekend. Blessings upon your family, and I pray that you and your family, in terms of food, shelter, clothing, and health, that those needs are being met. Blessing also upon those that are working in healthcare and the first responders out here trying to save lives every day, including especially on weekends, and those that pick up garbage to keep streets and sidewalks and parks and highways clean, and those that make deliveries on game days and other days for our convenience. Double blessings on those who are working to help deliver and rescue the victims of child molestation that happen in every neighborhood, in every state of the United States and around the world, and pedophilia, and those that are the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, sex trafficking, human and sex slavery, and double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts who are out here taking advantage of people and creating human misery and for their own gain and pleasure. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children who are on the streets with no roof over their head in the United States of America right now, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, no matter what color, no matter what religion. Theirs is the kingdom. I wanted to review because I've been watching the news closely. I looked at some video of the combine. I looked at the playoffs. I was looking at last night watching the Boston-Miami game. And overall, as I look at the whole picture, I was brought back to about a month ago. It was actually a little over a month ago. I have it marked here on my notebook. It was April 11th. And I put together a list at that time of 13 players that I liked for the Knicks. And the order I had at the time, now this is part of the reason we're doing this video today. It has changed. But the order I had at the time was Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray, Benedict Mathurin, E.J. Liddell, Dyson Daniels, Jeremy Sochan, Dyson Daniels, Okai Agbaji, Wendell Moore, A.J. Griffin, Johnny Davis, and then Tari Eason. Now that has changed. And I've come to certain conclusions. And I want to talk about those conclusions because I believe I've narrowed down who the Knicks are going to pick. The thing is, now we know the Knicks are picking 11th. What we've seen so far, this is the facts that we have right now. The Knicks are picking 11th. At the combine, they talked to at least 10 players. But there's, at this moment, as I'm talking to you on Sunday, May 22nd, there's only one player that they have invited to work out in Tarrytown at the Knicks facility, and they want to take to dinner. There's only one so far. Now, that doesn't mean there's not going to be others, but the first guy that they asked to do that was Jeremy Sochan. Okay? They've talked to a lot of players, but that's the first guy, and as far as I know at this point, the only guy they've invited back for a private workout and dinner and a discussion. They did not even interview him in Chicago. They just set that up, which tells me they're very serious about him. Okay. The Knicks do not waste time bringing a whole bunch of players in that they're not interested in. So far also at this time, they have not invited anybody that's a second round pick into their facility. I expect them to do that at some point, but I'm telling you right now, some of y'all that are scouring, you faithful Knicks fans, for scouring second rounders and looking at the combine to see who we might get at 42. I understand that, but this year, the second round is not as important as it has been in other years. This year, it's the lottery that's really important. Now, mathematically, there's things I have figured out that I want to share with you. Number one, I figure the top 4 is set. And actually the top 5 is probably set, but the top 4 is definitely set. That is, in no particular order, you're going to get Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, and Jaden Ivey. Those are your 4. So you got Holmgren because I didn't have him on my list because I wasn't interested in drafting him, but I'm not going to deny he's a talent. I mentioned to you all the reasons I was not interested in him because of the physical limitations in terms of durability. I'm very concerned with durability. The best ability is availability. I really believe that. And so a guy could be extremely talented, but if he's not going to be available, I don't want him. Okay. I'm just telling you. And I know one thing that Tom Thibodeau, that I share with him, is that he's not interested in somebody not available. I believe that's why he let Frank Ntilikina go. Frank was too hurt. Whenever he had opportunity to get minutes and show Tibbs something, his groin was pulled or he had a knee problem or whatever. And Tibbs don't play that. You got to be available when he calls on you. Okay. But that would notwithstanding, those 4 are set. Now remember, we're drafting 11th. Okay. So now there's 7 other spots between the 5th spot and the 11th spot. Okay. 7 other spots. I'm 90% sure that somebody's going to take Shaedon Sharpe in the top 10 before we pick. Okay. So Shaedon Sharpe, you can pencil him in as a pick. Okay. So that's 5 that's gone. That leaves 6 spots left. Okay. I am almost as sure. In fact, I'm very sure Jalen Duren is going to be drafted by somebody in the top 10, right? The 5. I don't want the Knicks to draft him, but I believe he'll be drafted in the top 5. So now you have 6 players that are, that make up the first 11. And now there's 5 others left. I'd be shocked if Washington did not pick one of either Dyson Daniels or Johnny Davis. I'd be shocked if they didn't pick one of those two, especially Daniels, because they just traded Dinwiddie. They had John Wall. Daniels would fit as a rookie next to Bradley Beal. He's not a shooter yet, but he would fit defensively as a rookie next to Bradley Beal. Washington is not a threat for a championship or anything, but they want to keep Bill happy. They're in a weird situation right now. They got front court for days. I mean, Kuzma, Rui Hachimura, the kid from Israel, Denny Abdiva. Then they got Johnny Bryant. They got Daniel Gafford. They got front court for days to me. I don't see them adding. I see a lot of mocks talking Sochan at that spot. I think that's a little ridiculous. I don't see them doing that. Unless they're going to trade Abdiva or Rui Hachimura or any of that, which I don't see happening either. They just drafted them. So I'm looking at a guard. Johnny Davis and Daniels are the 2 guys I would see. So one of those 2 is going to be off the board. I'm going to say it's Daniels, right? So let's say Dyson is off the board. So now you have 7 players of the 11 that we're talking about off the board. All right. So that leaves 4. Now, of the 4 that's left, we're talking about Keegan Murray, Benedict Mathurin, right? Jeremy Sochan, right? And then, and then Johnny Davis. Let's call Johnny Davis available, right? So you have 7 players off the board. Okay. And then you got Tyree Eason is still there, right? Ochai Agbaji is still there. So there's 7 players that I'm calculating. My hypothesis says they're going to be off the board in the first, definitely before we pick. All right. They'll be off the board. So of the one that's left now, I am probably 60% sure that Keegan Murray will also be drafted in the top 10. Okay. I'm not sure which team, but I'm just saying he'll be drafted in the top 10. Again, I'm not as high on Keegan Murray as some of these other players. And some of y'all get so emotional about this. I don't look at it as emotional. I look at it very cold and hard. Keegan Murray's a solid player. I believe he's going to be a solid NBA player. He's 22, so he's a little on the older side. But I don't see a superstar there. I see a very solid, mature, kind of like a Cam Johnson that's on Phoenix right now. Just similar to that. Very solid NBA player that you can really put in your rotation right away, can play a long time, not going to be a superstar. But I think he probably fits in that top 10 also, so you could take him off the board. So now you got Mathurin, Sochan, as far as players I'm interested, Mathurin, Sochan, Davis, Eason, Ochai Agbaji. Now, the one I'm going to eliminate that I hope they don't pick is Davis. And I'll tell you why, Johnny Davis. Some of y'all are going to trip because I'm telling you this. I'm not saying this out of an emotional, oh, why you gonna? No, I'm not doing that. Please calm down, y'all. I know some of y'all get too emotional, too NBA 2K on this stuff. We're nitpicking right now, right? So at this point, I'm not saying Johnny Davis is not going to be a good NBA player. I think he's going to be an NBA player. We're nitpicking, okay? But we got to, because we're narrowing it down to Sochan, Mathurin, Davis, Eason, okay? Basically. And then on outside, Ochai Agbaji, I like him too. Now, why would I eliminate Davis first? I like Davis. As far as heart, he's a Tom Thibodeau type of player. There is no doubt he's going to give you 110% on both sides of the basketball for as long as you put him in the game. There's no doubt about it. I have no doubts about his effort, about his heart. And I'm from New York, and so I really like players that show heart. Okay, I do. And I like him. He's very inefficient. Number one. Okay, 30% from three. Had the ball in his hands all the time. I know people are going to say he was double teamed and all that. He's inefficient. Okay. Number one. Number two, when you look at the video, when you look at it closely, and anybody content creator can disagree with me, but I think if you're looking at it closely, you'll agree. He doesn't create the separation on a consistent basis that you will need in the NBA. I saw somebody try to compare him to Mathurin and say, well, they're the same size. It's the same player. That is one of the most dumbest things. I mean, seriously? They're the same size. So Michael Jordan is 6'6". So any guy in here 6'6" could be Michael Jordan. Anyway, compare him to Mathurin. Mathurin is athletic, like an elite NBA athlete. So he will get the separation that he needs. Defensively, he has the tools to cover ground on any level you want defensively. Okay, so that's the difference. Davis doesn't have that level of athleticism. He doesn't have that level of speed to get that separation that he would need in the NBA. And I'm not saying he won't be successful. I'm just saying I don't see somebody that's better than Mathurin. I don't see somebody that would fit us better than Sochan, or somebody that would fit us better than Tari Eason, or even Ochai Agbaji, whose defense is elite. And he has shown in the big game, on the big stage, that he can knock down jump shots from three. Okay. But Davis plays with the heart of a lion. And so I know he's going to be good, but I think I'm looking for my Knicks at 11 or better. Okay. So Davis, I don't see that for the Knicks. Okay. Unless Tom Thibodeau loves his heart so much, because that's also Grimes and McBride. Although Grimes and McBride, to me, bring more strengths to their game than Johnny Davis. But that's just the way I'm looking at it. So I don't want to hear y'all tripping. I know some of y'all going to trip and bug out about Johnny Davis because y'all all on his nutsack, and I get it. If that's your dude, okay, whatever. I don't want to offend you. I just don't think that he's the best pick for us at 11. Okay. So now, but what the bottom line is, one of Benedict Mathurin, Jeremy Sochan, Johnny Davis, and Tari Eason will be available. And Ochai Agbaji will be available. Because now we have one out of 11 spots, 7 are taken. Okay. So we're going to get, and I'm thinking all of those guys I just picked, the top 4 we know about. Then I'm thinking somebody's going to take Shaedon Sharpe at either 5 or 6. Oh, wait, I'm missing an important one. Oh, shoot. I'm missing an important one. AJ Griffin. Let me not miss him. All right. I forgot about him, and he's very important in this scenario. So Shaedon Sharpe, Dyson Daniels, Keegan Murray, and then Duran. Those guys are going to be picked. So you got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that I feel are going to be picked before 11. Okay. And the Daniels, like I said, the Dyson Daniels, that could be Davis or Daniels. I'm not sure which one. I kind of got them together. So Washington could pick one of them. All right. But for me right now, because of what I just said, my order is now Mathurin. And I've been y'all know, I've been pretty consistent about Mathurin from the start. Some of y'all asked me if I like Benedict Mathurin, and I gave you the video that I did 2 months ago saying I wanted him. Okay. Before the NC2A tournament. Okay. So I've been liking him for a minute. I got him number 1 on my board. Okay. I'm assuming the Knicks are outside the top 4. If we trade into the top four, anything could happen. But I'm assuming we're going to remain outside the top four. That's another part of my hypothesis. So I'm assuming, let me give you my assumption. The Knicks remain outside the top four. They don't get into the top four. They trade Julius Randle. I'm 75% certain they're going to trade Julius Randle. I've been telling y'all that. Some of y'all been hanging on to his nutsack and then tripping on me. I keep telling you they're not trading him as if I'm the GM. I'm just predicting what I think they're going to do and what I believe in this case they should do. They're going to trade Julius Randle. So in my hypothesis, we're outside the top four. Julius Randle is going to be traded. Okay, those are assumptions I'm making. Okay, Obi Toppin becomes our starting power forward. All right. I don't make a prediction yet, although I'm feeling better about signing Mitchell Robinson. The reason I'm feeling better about that is because I can't believe that the GM, who I respect a lot for the Detroit Pistons, is going to overpay for him. I don't think anybody's going to pay more than $60 million over 4 years for him. Okay. And I believe that we'll match that. And then if he does go the strong, which we already predicted, we talked about the teams we could do business with. And I told y'all in Orlando, there's 2 players that I really would think we might do business with. I'm really into Jonathan Isaac, but Mo Bamba, I like Mo Bamba. I would not mind seeing him in a Knicks uniform, but he's not the highest one on my list right now. I'd rather have Mitchell Robinson, but if Mitch was going to get his money somewhere else, bless him. And then I think we have a good shot at Mo Bamba. So I'm not worried about the 5 too much. Okay. We're not drafting a 5 though. Some of y'all keep, this guy's transformational. Ain't no transformational 5s in this draft. Not to me. Okay. I'm telling you right now. Some of y'all get too hyped with this stuff. I've been seeing this too many years. Too many years, man. I've been watching these drafts too many years. So, I'm not saying these guys won't be able to play, but they're going to go through the same development process that all rookie 5s go through. Some of them will make it through. Some of them won't. Okay. It's a lot more than talent involved. The 5 position along with the point guard are the 2 positions that are the most difficult to break into in the NBA. Really are. Okay. So it's not more than just physical talent. You got to have a mental capability here at the 5 spot. And so, yeah, Mark Williams, I'm not saying he won't be good. Jalen Duren, they're going to be good. But I'm saying you put a Jalen Duren in San Antonio under the development team with Popovich in them 2 or 3 seasons, you're going to have a monster. Okay. And so that's what I'm saying. But I don't want us to have to wait another 2 or 3 seasons. We just wasted 4 seasons developing Mitchell Robinson if we're going to let him go. Right. I'd rather get a guy like a Mo Bamba who's been in the league now 3 years. Okay. Not another rookie that you got to start from scratch with. All right. So but right now, again, Holmgren, Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, Jaden Ivory, Shaden Sharp, Duren, Dyson, Keegan. Those guys are going to be gone. So you're talking about 8 guys. Now we got 3 left. And so Benedict Mathurin, unless he's taken by New Orleans, some people got New Orleans drafting him. I could understand if New Orleans did that. I can understand that. He's a talent. You add, but Trey Murphy the third, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones. You got some talent that then you're bringing back Zion. I don't know. I don't know about that one. And then of course, CJ McCollum, right? I don't know what they're going to do, but it's possible that they would, and they're at 8. It's possible for them to take him. But my top board is Benedict Mathurin, Jeremy Sochan, AJ Griffin, and Tari Eason. Those are the 4 guys. And if we end up having to pick Eason, I think we're going to trade down because we don't have to pick him at 11. I think the Don will trade down, maybe add a 2nd round pick and get him anyway. Okay. But, that's my 4 now. Benedict Mathurin's my number 1 guy on my board. Sochan is number 2 on my board. Okay. 3 is AJ Griffin. I like Griffin better than I like Johnny Davis. And let me just go back over the Davis issues that I had. Again, I'm not saying Davis can't play in the NBA. I'm saying I like players that we can get at that spot better than him. All right. Somebody said, what happened to Dyson Daniels? Daniels is 6'8". He averaged 11 points a game in the G League. If you think he's going to come in and make an impact in year 1, you're deluding yourself. He's going to need development. Thibodeau has no patience for any rookie, especially a rookie point guard. Y'all need to understand that. Some of y'all just not receiving it, but it's the truth, man. That's the raw truth. Okay, you expecting a rookie point guard? I don't care who he is to come in and think Thibodeau gonna give him minutes, and he can't shoot yet. Anyway, so on to the real. Now, AJ Griffin has deep-rooted ties with Tom Thibodeau. His father, Adrian Griffin, coached in Chicago. Well, he played in the NBA at Seton Hall. Journeyman, okay? One of these grinded out, tough gym rat dudes who Thibodeau loves. And I mean, literally loves, both as a person because of that kind of attitude, but then he coached on Thibodeau's staff for 4 years in Chicago. He was there. Thibodeau was around when the boy was born. Thibodeau has deep roots with this kid. You know, y'all thinking Jalen Brunson, and that's true, but this is the same thing with AJ Griffin. So Thibodeau would treat him more like a son or a grandson, just like IQ. Okay, now let's talk about AJ Griffin. 6'6", 220, probably like 5-6% body fat. All right, this is a boy in a man's body right here. Efficient, 40+% from three. Efficient, has all the tools. Now he hurt his knee in high school, and that's been the issue. That everybody expected him to be much more explosive athlete type of dude than he was at Duke. I think he's going to get back. He's 18. He's going to be 19. It takes a year, he's going to get back. I'm not worried about that. And he knows the game. He's a coach's son. So he has already, even without being at his maximum explosion, he has the separation ability already. The footwork on this kid. If you watch just watch some of his highlights. He can get separation on anybody. Okay? He can't. He's got a weird way of keeping, some people think, because he has a wide stance on his jump shot that it needs to be fixed. No, it doesn't need to be fixed. You don't fix what's not broken. You don't fix what's not broken. If that's how he shoots, that's how he shoots. There was a dude back in the day, Jamal Wilkes. Jamal Wilkes played for the Lakers. He had one of the weirdest jump shots you ever seen, but you don't mess with it because he could shoot. Okay? His kid is very similar. You don't mess with what's not broken. All right? And he'll get it off in NBA. He got the ability. That's the thing. He's got the physical ability to get his shot off, to get the separation, to play physical on defense. That's what you want. Okay? And then he's only 18. So he's not going to play anyway. He's going to be in the G League. But we have him. And he's going to be 19. Okay? So I like him above Johnny Davis. I like Tari Eason. Tari Eason also, 20-year-old, 6'8", plays both sides of the basketball. Very physical, defensive guy. And hasn't even begun to reach his potential yet. Another guy, the thing that I don't like about Tari, and I've been on Tari train again, a couple months ago. I sent you the video. A couple months ago, I was on the Tari train. Him and Mathurin are the first two guys I noticed for the Knicks. Tari, though, needs a little bit more development. Like, my next guy, the guy that I want, Sochan can be in the rotation this year, which is saying something under Tom Thibodeau. He can be in the rotation right behind Obi Toppin. He'll be backing up Obi. Again, guard 5 positions, 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, plays with a high IQ, can dribble the basketball. He can handle a run. He can run a break at 6'9". Okay. He's, like I said, he's Scotty. You remember Scotty Barnes? Here he is again. That's Scotty Barnes again. Okay. So, except he's got, he got that Dennis Rodman flair to him, but that's Scotty Barnes again. And I would have moved up last year to get Scotty Barnes if I could have got him. Okay. Obviously, I think he's the rookie of the year. So I was right about him. Okay. That was the guy last year. This year is Sochan. Okay. Now, and the only guy above him I got is Mathurin, because Mathurin, to me, has all the tools to be a superstar. I'm not saying he is right now. He needs to be developed. But he's got all the tools to be that guy. Okay? He really does. and at 6'7", 200 pounds, athlete, can jump through the roof, play with the IQ, can shoot the ball off the dribble like an NBA player right now. 19. Yeah, he's that guy. Okay. To me, he's underrated. Mathurin, to me, he should be in the top 4. But I'm glad he's not. Let them trip on these other guys. No problem. So that's what I'm looking at. If the Knicks stay at 11, and I'm looking again, the likelihood is Mathurin is going to be gone. He's just too good. He's just got too much promise. I can see him being gone. A lot of people are thinking Sochan is going to be gone, but I don't think so. And the reason I don't, you're not going to have both Mathurin and Sochan off the board at 11. And I'm going to tell you why. You're talking about, let's look at the draft. You're talking about Washington is at 10, right? So you got Washington drafting at 10. Let's look at it. So you got Washington at 10. You got San Antonio at 9. You got New Orleans at 8. Okay. I didn't already tell you. I'm very, very confident that Washington's taking the guard. And that means Dyson Daniels or, Johnny Davis. They're taking the guard. Okay. They need a guard, and that's what they want. Everybody looking at front court. I don't know why. You got 2 really good front court fives in Gafford and Bryant. Bryant was hurt last year, but people forgot. He's really good. He's coming into his own, and Gafford coming in his own. That's why I'm not worried as much about drafting a center. One of these guys going to want to start somewhere, and we can make a deal with Washington to get one of them if Mitch Ward walks, along with, or we can go get the Mo Bambas of the world, or there's the Jackson Hayes. There's people available that has more experience that we could plug in right now than looking at one of these rookie fives. So I'm not worried about that. So Washington, I can see them getting a guard. And so the 2 best guards left, because Jaden Ivey's going to be gone. So the 2 best guards left at that spot, then Ty, that's too high for Ty. Okay. They might trade down then if they want Ty, but that's too high for Ty, right? 10 is too high. I think Ty is between 11 and 14. So you're going to get a guard. I'm not worried. So in other words, what I'm saying is Mathurin and Sochan won't be off the board if they're still on the board when Washington picks. Then there's San Antonio. San Antonio's got a plethora of wings. They got a plethora of wings. Okay. They got DeJounte Murray. They just traded one of them to the Celtics because they had too many. They're not drafting Mathurin. I would see them getting a 5. I can see Duran going there. Okay. I can see them getting a 5 in San Antonio. They got Portal, but look, man, Portal is an example of what San Antonio can do with an average talent. That's what he is to me. Jacob Porter, that's what he is. If he wasn't in the San Antonio system, you might not even see him playing at all. But that's what San Antonio could do with a guy. So you got a talented kid in Duran that you can bring in behind Porter and train him in the San Antonio system. That's what it is when you have long-term sustainable winning. Okay. So you bring him in and you got that. So I'm not worried about Mathurin, or I'm not worried about Sochan going there. Then you got New Orleans, and we've already talked about New Orleans. New Orleans is stacked. New Orleans is stacked right now. I mean, look, that cat had them playing at a high level this past season, and you bringing back Zion, and they're going to give him an incentive-laden contract. Zion's contract is going to be an incentive-laden, so he's going to have to stay healthy. And now he's seen already what they could do without him. Okay, and he's now looking at, he's not coming to New York. He's going to sign with them. I told y'all, if he goes and he signs the extension, it's over. So now you got McCollum, Ingram, Zion, you got Jackson Hayes, you got Trey Murphy III, you got Herb Jones, who was a revelation. Then in the backcourt, they got the kid from New York, Alvarado. They got Kyra Lewis Jr. They still got Devontae Graham. See, I don't know what would they pick? I would see them for financial reasons moving Jonas Valanciunas, unless they were going to make a run this year, and then moving up Jackson Hayes into that spot and drafting another young 5. They could do that. I don't see what else they would do right here. I can even see them trading this pick and trying to get another vet in here. They got Larry Nance Jr. They ready to go, man. I mean, they really are. I mean, I'm saying the young coach there is doing a tremendous job. And so I can't see what they would want. So they could draft Mathurin, They could take him at 11 just to stack their talent. They could do that, but I can't see them drafting Sochan and Mathurin. Okay, and neither now Portland. I don't know what I see Portland making a trade. I don't even see them making the 7th pick. They trying to win now. Okay, they got a core of Nurkic, obviously Dame Dollar, Anthony Simons, and Nasir Little. That's a really solid core. Okay, they just need to build around the core. I could see them trading that pick and trading down and getting another rookie somewhere else, but I think they're going to be, and we already saw last week, it was already out. They're looking to win now. I don't think they're going to trade. So again, what I'm saying is, I don't see Mathurin or Sochan of the teams I just named, Washington, San Antonio, New Orleans, and Portland. I don't see them taking both of those guys off the board. We're going to get one of them. Okay, they're going to be available. That's what I'm saying. That's the video is about. We're going to have one of them available at 11. And if we move up, if we do trade with Portland or Detroit or Indiana or Sacramento, we definitely getting one of them. We might get both of them. Okay, but we definitely getting one of them. Okay, and I'm very happy with either one of them cats. If we could get Sochan, man, I'm happy. If we can get Mathurin, I'm happy. Okay, so to me, again, it's Mathurin, Sochan, AJ Griffin, and Tyler Eason. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, I don't think we have to worry. We're going to get one of them 2 top ones. I'm really not worried about, because I think Detroit's probably going to take Sharp. Detroit probably going to take Sharp because they got the time to let him develop. Okay. New Orleans, I don't know who they're going to take. Indiana, I could see them taking Murray. I don't know why all of these cats doing these mocks are ignoring the fact that Chris Duarte's on that team. Like, everybody I've heard so far, every single guy, and I've heard like 3 or 4 of them, this guy will be a great fit right next to Halliburton. And I'm like, y'all know they got Duarte, right? Anyway, Duarte and Halliburton are the backcourt. I don't see them taking a backcourt dude unless they want a third dude. Okay. But, so I'm thinking Keegan Murray, Indiana, Keegan Murray, they could take him. They could take a lot of guys. AJ Griffin. They could do a lot of guys. I'm thinking on the wing. TJ Warren been hurt for like 2 years. So I don't know. They're going to be trading for sure. On the market is Miles Turner as well as, Malcolm Brogdon. And from what I understand, the Knicks are no longer interested in Brogdon because of his injury history, which we talked about. Okay. So I thought that I wouldn't mind them getting him so that I know my kids could play because he's going to be hurt, but the Knicks don't even want him because he's going to be unavailable at $22.5 million a year for the next 3 years. So no. So I could see Indiana trading also Miles Turner and that's another possibility for the Knicks. We can get Miles Turner. Again, some of y'all real hyped on this guy. I like him. I liked him coming out of college, but he ain't no superstar. And so, but he'll work for Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson left. He would definitely work. So I don't see them taking, Mathurin. Put it that way. I don't see them taking Mathurin. Detroit will take Shaedon Sharp. I think Indiana probably going to take Keegan Murray. He's from, Iowa there. Portland, I think, going to trade the pick. New Orleans might take Mathurin. That's a threat. San Antonio probably won't. San Antonio, again, San Antonio is flush with wings, man. They really are. Let me just look at the Spurs real quick. They got a whole bunch of guys. They just, like I said, they just traded somebody, but they got DeJounte Murray. They got DeJounte Murray, Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, Devin Vassell, Joshua Primo, who they still developing, right? I mentioned DeJounte Murray. They got Trey Jones backing him up. They need a 5. They got Jacopoto at the 5. They need a 5. And Zach Collins behind him. They need a 5. So I doubt if they're going to pick either of the guys I want. Okay, so I'm not worried about San Antonio either. Then there's Washington, who I just told y'all. I'm very sure they're picking the guard. Okay, they need somebody that's going to work with Beal. Okay, I don't see them being a world beater next year. So they look at. I can see, like I said, it could be Dyson Daniels or Davis. I think in that position right there, I don't know. I wouldn't know, but one of them are going to be taken, and one of them is going to be left. I don't know which one. I can see positives and negatives on both of them. I mentioned the negatives with Davis, but if you bring Davis and you put him, either as a third guard behind whoever they start in Beal, or you start him next to Beal, and you don't put pressure on him in Washington, I think he would be pretty daggone good there, man. Oh yeah, they got Contavious Caldwell Pope. As far as their guards, they got Ish Smith, which is a career backup. They taking a guard. Look at their front court. Look at their wings. Danny Avdiva, Corey Kispert. What makes y'all think they're going? I don't know what makes some of these creators think they're going to add another wing. Then that power forwards, they got KP, Kristaps Porzingis, plus Kyle Kuzma, plus Rui Hachimura, plus Daniel Gafford, who can play 4 and 5, plus Vernon Carey, plus Isaiah Todd, and then Bryant too. No, man. No, Thomas Bryant. No, man. They're going to get a guard. It's either Davis or Daniels. They might take Ty and trade down, but they're not taking our guys. So again, what does this mean for the Knicks? Either Mathurin or Sochan's going to be there. The Knicks are taking one of them two. And I'm very confident they're going to take one of them two. Okay, unless any of these other guys get hurt, that changes everything. Somebody hurts themselves, that changes everything. But based on what I'm looking at, I'm seeing 8 guys gone before the 11th pick that are not Mathurin and Sochan. Okay, 8 guys. Then I'm telling you that Washington, I don't know what, I think in Portland is going to trade out the pick. Okay, Portland going to trade out the pick. And so that leaves, that's a 9th spot right there. So Washington's drafting a guard. Look, we're going to get a good player. We're going to get a good player. At 11, or if they move up. And we're going to get one of the guys, I'm telling you right now. It's either going to be Mathurin or it's going to be Sochan. We're going to see what happens. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Shalom.